is unattached to the fruits of work and who works as he is obligated in the renounced order of life, and he is the true mystic, not he who lights no fire or performs no duty. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, who would like to read purport today?
I can read, Prabhuji.
Go ahead with Prakash.
In this chapter, the Lord explains that the process of Eightfold Yoga system is a means to control the mind and the senses. However, this is very difficult for people in general to perform, especially in the age of Kali. Although the Eightfold Yoga system is recommended in this chapter, the Lord emphasizes that the process of Karma Yoga or acting in Krishna consciousness is better. Everyone acts in this world to maintain his family and their paraphernalia, but no one is working without some self-interest, some personal gratification, be it concentrated or extended. The criterion of perfection is to act in Krishna consciousness and not with a view to enjoying the fruits of work. To act in Krishna consciousness is the duty of every living entity because all are constitutionally parts and parcels of the Supreme. The parts of the body work for the satisfaction of the whole body. The limbs of the body do not act for self-satisfaction, but for the satisfaction of the complete whole. Similarly, the living entity who acts for satisfaction of the Supreme Whole and not for personal satisfaction is the perfect sannyasi, the perfect yogi. The sannyasis sometimes artificially think that they have become liberated from all material duties, and therefore they cease to perform Agnihotra Yajna, fire sacrifices. But actually, they are self-interested because their goal is to become one with the impersonal Brahman. Such a desire is greater than any material desire, but it is not without self-interest. Similarly, the mystic yogi who practices the yoga system with half-open eyes, ceasing all material activities, desires some satisfaction for his personal self. But a person acting in Krishna consciousness works for the satisfaction of the whole, without self-interest. A Krishna-conscious person has no desire for self-satisfaction. His criterion of success is the satisfaction of Krishna, and thus he is the perfect sannyasi or perfect yogi. Lord Chaitanya, the highest perfectional symbol of renunciation, prays in this way. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagdish kamaye, mama janmanishware, bhavatad bhaktir ahetuki tvayai. O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor to enjoy beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. What I want only is the costless mercy of your devotional service in my life, birth after birth. Gurujan Prabhu notes, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, one who is unattached to the fruits of his work and who works as he is obligated in the renounced order of life, and he is the true mystic, not he who lights no fire and performs no duty. Although one who takes sannyas ordinarily gives up performing fire sacrifices, here for the third time, Krishna asserts the importance of not giving up work. The true renunciant, the true mystic, performs his duty, but renounces the fruit. That is Krishna's request to Arjuna. The phrase lights no fire refers to Brahmanas. One of the prescribed duties of Brahman Varna is to perform a daily Agnihotra, fire sacrifice. Krishna is again explaining that one who is unadvanced thinks, I have knowledge, I don't have to perform my duty. Rather, an advanced soul performs his duty with detachment. Krishna repeats this point just before describing the Ashtanga Yoga system so that we will not become confused. Although Ashtanga yogis eventually go to the forest after renouncing their prescribed duties, Krishna wants to make it clear that Ashtanga yogis, like Nishkam Karma yogis, must first perform detached work before they are advanced enough to renounce the world. Krishna will now explain the relationship between sannyas and yoga. Hare Krishna.
As this chapter is mainly about the Ashtanga Yoga. The chapter name is Dhyana Yoga. So this chapter describes the Ashtanga Yoga. So let's read translation one more time. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, one who is unattached to the fruits of his work and who works as he is obligated in the renounced order of life. And he is the true mystic, not the who lights no fire or performs no duty. So here, again, a third time, as it is mentioned in the purport also, that Krishna and Prabhupada, they are in Krishna. Prabhupada is Krishna is telling third time that what is the real meaning of uh, sannyas, right? And that Prabhupada is explaining. And to give that, the example is given of the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the perfectional, who is the highest perfectional symbol of renunciation. Right? And he has, so Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared on this planet Earth for 48 years. In the late 1486, he appeared. So he was on this planet for 48 years. For I think he took sannyas after 24 years of his life. And the only scripture or the only verses Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wrote was this Shiksha-Ashtakam. That is why this Shiksha-Ashtakam is very important. So this is the Ashtakam of 8 prayers of the devotees. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in the mode of the devotee to preach or to show us how the devotee should perform bhakti. Right? So he wrote this Shiksha-Ashtakam is only 8 verses. So I think today we can go through these 8 verses and we can thoroughly understand this. So Gauranga Chandra Prabhu, you can explain each meaning of each verse one by one. So format, I was thinking, Gauranga Chandra Prabhu, that we'll read one verse and then you can talk about each verse. Is that okay, Prabhu? Verse and translation.
Yeah, bro. So my recommendation is we sing through once,
Hmm.
then we go to translation. And in the translation, we can elaborate a little bit on the topic.
Yeah, sounds good, Prabhu. Anybody
Okay,
would
so
like to recite in the meter, like in the standard meter?
I can try, Prabhuji.
Yeah,
So Prabhu, you have all Shiksha-Ashtakam listed here.
sorry?
You have all
Yeah,
the verses.
all the verses are here. Yeah.
Okay, very.
Was it Sapun Prabhu? Who
Yes,
said
Prabhu.
it? Yeah, please go ahead, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Cheto darpana marjanam bhava mahadavagni nirvapanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadhu Jivanam Anandambudhi Vardhanam Pratipadam Purnamritaswadanam Sarvatmasnapanam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Prabhu, you can recite all.
Yeah, bro. I can continue from there. So, is it okay?
Yeah, Prabhu, yeah.
Okay. नाम नामकारी बहुधा निज सर्वशक्तिस् तत्रार्पिता नियमिता स्मरणेन कालः एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमीदृशम् इहाजनिनानुरागः तृणादपि सुनीचेन तरोरपि सहिष्णुनाम् अमानिनामानदेन कीर्तनीय सदा हरि न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवताद्भक्तिरहेर्तुकी त्वयि अयि नन्दतनुजा किङ्करं पतितां वा विषमे भवाम्बुधो कृपया तव पादपङ्कजा स्थितधूलिसदृशं विचिन्तया नयनं गलदश्रुधारया Vadanam gadgadarudaya gira pulakarna chitam vapu kada tava nama grahane bhavishyati yugaitam nimishena chakshusha pravishayitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahe name आश्लिष्य वा पादरतां पिनास्तु माम् अदर्शनां मर्महतां करोस्तु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पटो मत प्राणनाथास्तु सेवनापरा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So Prabhuji will go up and go into translation. Word by word we may bypass because just the interest of the time.
Yeah, sure, Prabhu.
So now, what is the most interesting thing about these eight shlokas, right? Um, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, first we need to understand who he is, right? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is basically a hidden incarnation of the Lord. When you say hidden, the first question that comes to your mind is, and why is he hidden? Why is not obvious? Okay, because in the scriptures it is mentioned that Lord is Tri-yugi. Tri-yugi means he appears in Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kali Yuga. He does not appear, right? So to make that statement true, Lord comes in the hidden incarnation. But also there is another dimension to that. Radha Krishna, when their love uh, basically was to be manifested in Kali Yuga as a free access to all the jivas of Kali Yuga, uh, it's a combined incarnation. This is little too much to digest initially, but once you understand it is so much of pleasure actually. It is a combined incarnation of Radha and Krishna, and he comes in a sannyasi form, as a Purusha form. So as a result, although Krishna is dark, um, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has a golden complexion. And the reason the complexion is golden is because the complexion is Radharani basically. Radharani comes as his outer covering. So what happens? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself, appears in the mood of a devotee. And because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears in the mood of the devotee, all his leelas, basically very rarely he manifests as Krishna himself. Very rarely. It's a very, very private pastime when he basically expresses all darshanas to all the devotees based on what their mood is. So amongst his devotees, there is one who is a Rama Bhakta, Hanuman. So to him, he gives darshan as a Ram, and others he gives as a Krishna, and then some are Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotees. So basically, these are all devotees of the Lord who come back again. When Krishna comes, his devotees also come back again to assist him in the pastimes. So if you read Chaitanya Charitamrita book series, you will find out that uh, Hanuman and Brahma and all these great personalities, they appeared 500 years back again to assist the pastimes of the Lord. One may say, Lord himself comes, and then all his great devotees also come. And what they do? Basically, they re-inaugurate the real spirituality in Kali Yuga, which has been lost. And also they give a form of spirituality which is the most easy for the jivas of Kali Yuga, because Kali Yuga jivas are little, as per the scriptures, as per Srimad Bhagavatam, in Kali Yuga, our balam or shakti or akkal, everything is going down. So what will happen? People are not able to focus, people are not able to trust each other, people are not able to behave properly. So for the jivas of Kali Yuga, Lord gives a process for Kali Yuga which is extremely, extremely simple and easy also, and sublime also, and most effective also. Not only it is easiest, it gives you highest perfection of life, it gives you the highest destination in the spiritual world, and it is also the simplest. Now, simple is not easy, because if it was easy, everybody would be doing that. It is simple. How simple it is? It is deceivingly simple. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he comes in the mood of the devotee, he's showing by example how to become a devotee. So what does he do? He's reading Srimad Bhagavatam, he's taking darshan of the Lord, and he is basically day and night crying out names of Lord Sri Krishna. Why? Because he's in the mood of devotee. And this beautiful pastime, because it is Lord himself, and the prophecy is that, around the world in all towns, my name will be pronounced. Right? Now, even like 70 years back, this was like mission impossible that Lord Sri Krishna's name will be pronounced, Gauranga's name will be pronounced across Nagaradigram. Every city, every town in across the world will have Lord's name pronounced. But today, if you look at it, every temple takes out, there are like 900 temples around the world as of now, just in last 50, 60 years. We are, as a moment, we are in the infancy actually, right? Other religions have gone 1,000 years, 2,000 years, 3,000 years, and they have some establishment. But the Bhakti movement started by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right? And then re-inaugurated by Srila Prabhupada across the world. So greatness of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he never used more powers than necessary to bring to the point that Bhakti is the Sarvasreshta. So as a Nimai Pandit, that was his name before his name was initiated, he defeated every possible Vedic scholar around the world, establishing that he's the best. But after he took up to Bhakti, he never argued with anyone. He only played extremely humble role. And in these only 8 stanzas is complete essence of bhakti on which ISKCON is based. If you don't study anything in ISKCON, and if you know only these Shiksha-Ashtakam prayers, that's good enough to go back to Godhead. And why? We will, when we go deeper into that, we'll realize. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also wrote a book on bhakti, which was profound, but then he was going in a boat and he met with another Pandit who also said, "Oh, Nimai, I have written a big book on bhakti, spirituality." And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Oh, very nice. I have also written." And the person became very morose. He said, "If you write a book, who is ever going to read my book?" Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately took his book and dropped it into the river. Said, "Now people will read your book, be happy." That's the humility. What kind of, to write a book is effort. Drop your book into the river. Like Sant Tukaram Maharaj, who is at a Bhava stage, but when his gathas were dropped into the river, he became very morose. He was fasting like until death on the river bank. And then the Devi came and returned the scriptures. So there is so much of anxiety if the scriptures are lost. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just dropped it. But he asked his disciples to create the literature. Right? So a lot of Shatta Goswamis, which was his primary commando team basically, who established the Bhakti movement around and re-established Vrindavan. A lot of people in North India today go to Vrindavan and around India. They go to Vrindavan. We don't realize that this Vrindavan was completely lost. People were doing farming and they didn't know which kunda is where and which temple should be where and which pastime of Krishna, Leela of Krishna happened where. That knowledge was lost. It was re-established by the 6 Goswamis, which were the direct disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed them to invigorate Vrindavan. That is why we see the Vrindavan way it is. And in spite of that reinvigoration, again, it was like a very secluded dharmic place. But when Prabhupada took Vrindavan to the whole world in the name of ISKCON, everybody realized the value of ISKCON, Vrindavan. And then now that is why Vrindavan is now a overpopulated place. Means the whole world wants to come to Vrindavan. All the people around the world want to relocate to Vrindavan. And Mayapur also. Mayapur was like a paddy fields, only rice fields and very unfavorable population of Bangladesh nearby. And from there to now, if you look at the TOVP temple, please look it up, tovp.org. You will see most beautiful temple in the universe is coming up in Mayapur. And already Narsimha Dev's Murti is established. And now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Pancha Tattva Murti will be also shifting over there. Radha Madhava Murti will be shifting over there. The first thing the difference between Vrindavan and Mayapur. Vrindavan is where, based on your current status of bhakti, your bhakti will get little better, right? If you go to Vrindavan, you will get bhakti, but you should be already in bhakti doing something right. If you just go as a non-devotee, you won't get much out of Vrindavan because you will see only the pigs and donkeys and buffaloes, and you won't feel where you are. You will not realize the value of where you are. You will not know how to behave in such a way that your bhakti will grow. If you're already a devotee and trained, you can benefit from Vrindavan. But if you go to Mayapur, in Vrindavan, you get benefit based on your patrata. You know what is patrata? Patrata means qualification. But you know what is patra? Patra means the pot. So based on the size of your pot, you will receive the mercy in Vrindavan. But if you go to Mayapur, which is the birthplace of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Bengal, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will first give you patrata also. He will give you the patra also. He will give you the pot and he will put mercy into that. Means what? You or we or I do not need any pre-qualification to go to Mayapur. And we are fully benefited by going to Mayapur, spiritually completely benefited. So my suggestion is, life is very fragile. Anything can happen anytime. Please make time to go to Vrindavan and Mayapur, both. But definitely Mayapur, because that's where we don't even need any qualification. And the arrangements are so perfect. And only 50 years back, it was a very hostile place. And today, it is world's best travel destination. Bengal government is creating so much of infrastructure to support the growth of TOVP. Airport is coming, five-star hotel is coming. From the Ganges, there will be a bullet train type of boating to reach Mayapur quickly. So Mayapur will very soon become center of the world, and even Taj Mahal will fade in darkness once the TOVP comes up. So why calling out so many things? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the TOVP temple is such a gorgeous temple. And this is a view from the top, so you don't realize the size, but it is bigger than Taj Mahal actually. And it is so beautiful. We'll share some more photos of TOVP. And it's between two rivers, Jalangi and Ganges. And it's between that triangle, it is so lush green and so beautiful. You feel like you are in Vedic times, actually. Right? It was extremely hostile a few years back, but devotees have given their life, this generation of devotees have given their life to establish Mayapur because Prabhupada wanted that to become the spiritual capital of the whole world. Okay. So now we'll go to Shiksha-Ashtakam. Let's see if somebody who is incarnation of Lord, basically Krishna himself, not just a low power incarnation of Krishna, he is Krishna himself and full power. And if he is giving only 8 stanzas to get through our bhakti life, what are we talking about, right? So, first one, glory to Sri Krishna Sankirtana, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtana movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. Now, to unpack this, every shloka can take a class by itself and this can be a 8-week series, right? So we'll try to see how much we can cover. So first is Sri Krishna Sankirtana. Kirtan means what? Kirtana, bhaja, tapa. That we do in isolation. But Sankirtana means together. So that is why for Kali Yuga, the prescribed method is Sri Krishna Sankirtana. We can chant together, we can dance together, we can go out on the street and do a procession together. What happens because of that? Our heart is cleaned up. Now what happens? Today, if you ask me, who are you? I'll say, I'm Ganesh and I do this and I do that. Okay. We don't realize that we have forgotten I am the soul. We like every day when you're looking in the mirror, are you seeing that you're not this body, Baba? Your soul. So the mind, the mirror of mind is so dirty that we end up thinking I am this body, and then we live like a body. But what happens when we chant, then it cleanses our heart, cleanses our mind, and we can transparently see who am I? Oh, I am a soul, and I am part and parcel of Krishna, and my relationship with Lord is relationship of love and affection and cooperation. And once we get to that point of not being this body and being a soul and being connected to Krishna, we enjoy unlimited happiness, which we used to in the spiritual world, and we don't anymore. So we are very anxious to have that love back. And because we are very anxious to have that love back, and it is not, we are not getting it in the normal life, we are trying to fulfill that thirst for Krishna with what? With iPhones, houses, getting married, promotions, money, fame, bodily enjoyments. We're trying to pour all that into a big gap, big vacuum, which is created by absence of Krishna in our life. So which cleanses the heart of dust of accumulated for years. When you say years, it's lifetimes, and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. Many of us have done device class. We know birth, death, old age, disease, threefold miseries are beating us up like anything, even after taking bhakti. We are getting, because if our sufferings go down, we will immediately think of settling here only. We need some push to keep progressing. Extinguishes the fire. Why? Now, once we realize I am soul, not this body, what will happen? We start suffering differently. Now we suffer because Krishna is absent in our life. We're not suffering because I did not get this, or somebody insulted me, or I did not get the promotion. Those things become less important, or actually irrelevant. This Sankirtana moment is the prime benediction for humanity at large. Why? Prime benediction means blessing. Why it is a blessing for the whole humanity? Because bhakti of Krishna is not only for Hindus, it is not only for Brahmanas, it is not only for this and only for that. It is for all living beings. But humanity can enjoy it immediately. Plants and animals also benefit when we chant Lord's name. They also benefit. But human beings can make very fast progress in this life only, because it spreads the rays of benediction moon. The bhakti life, you become blissful very quickly. You can enjoy the highest happiness. That is why it is a prime benediction. And there are lots of life forms between here and going back to Goloka. There are so many empowered living beings like Brahma's level, Indra's level, Yakshas, Kinnaras, Devatas. This is better than going into any of that life. It is directly better to go back to Krishna only, because that's the highest happiness. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. See, we learn this Jnana Yoga and Yoga Marga and Jnana Marga, and we're trying to explore so many things only to become little more happy in this life. But this is the life of all transcendental knowledge. Means once you know that you can chant and you can go back to Krishna, and Krishna is Supreme Personality, Godhead, there is nothing more required actually. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, ocean of transcendental bliss. Bliss is the higher form of happiness. Happiness is what generally? Absence of misery. Bliss is highest form of happiness. That's why all bliss comes from Radharani, who is the bliss potency of the Lord. Means all bliss comes from her. And here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, a combined incarnation of Radha Krishna, is saying that this is the ocean of transcendental bliss. It's more happiness than we can handle. Look at how many people are depressed, how many people are in the suicidal tendencies of life, how many people are morose because they did not get what they wanted, how many people are morose because they had something that they lost. And here we are talking about positive happiness, bliss, and how much? Oceans. And it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. So at a soul level, we can handle a lot of happiness. But in the body level, our ability to handle happiness is also limited. So we can get the highest possible happiness even in the bodily format if we are connected to the Sri Krishna Sankirtana movement. The highest happiness was enjoyed by gopis when they were doing rasa dance with Krishna, right? And they were completely in the mood of surrender and service, not I want to enjoy, I want to enjoy. And if in ISKCON, if we also serve selflessly, we can also enjoy the same happiness. And basically, this is very transcendental. But when we are doing Sankirtana, basically, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving us access to the same happiness that gopis were enjoying in the rasa dance with Krishna or in connection with Krishna, but in a very socially accepted format, which is guys, you dance together, ladies, you dance together. But that dance we can really enjoy when we serve selflessly. Any questions on this before we go to next one?
Questions?
We can go to the next one and stop me anytime when you have a question or even when you have comments. So Nam Akari Bahuda Nija Sarva Shaktis. O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. Oh my Lord, out of kindness, you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names. But I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is taking very humble position here, saying that I don't have taste for Krishna. I don't have love for Krishna. He used to cry. He used to cry saying that my situation is so unfortunate. I don't have any love for Krishna. And I remember very initial days of the Krishna, Shamla Mata used to say, if we don't have love for Krishna, we're not getting tears for Krishna, we should cry because of that condition. We should cry that we are not able to cry for Krishna. So, cry because we are not able to cry. And the most beautiful part of this is any spiritual progress, process demands some qualification, some process, some restrictions for this and that. And what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying over here, to take my name, which is alone can render all benedictions. And Krishna has unlimited names, so you can pick and choose your name also. The reason we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra is because it is mentioned as a upaya for Kali Yuga in the Kali Santaran Upanishad. An Upanishad that is primarily designed for liberation in Kali Yuga calls out that mantra, so we leverage that mantra. But all names of the Lord are equally powerful. And all energies are invested into this name. Means the name has same power as the Lord. But names of Lord are more merciful than the Lord. Why? I want like actual and practical darshan of Krishna in the original form today, now. Not possible, not available, unless Lord decides, correct? But the same power, same empowerment, same love is available when I connect with Krishna in the name form. You do not need, you need an appointment to meet with the mayor of Samamish or mayor of Seattle. You do not need appointment to meet with the holy name. Any moment you are ready, name is also ready. And are there any rules? Like you have to first take shower, first you have to fast, then only you can do that. No. There, Lord removed all the limitations of accessing the names also. Like Vedic mantras, when you chant them, you better kind of take and have a proper shower, you're following all the regulations, and you wake up early in the morning, you sit in a particular direction, in a certain posture, then you can do all the vidhis, right? But if you want to remember Lord's name out of love, no rules. Whether you have taken shower or not, whether you have done this or not, that brush nahi kiya, kuch nahi kiya, or any status of life you are in, any status, no problem. And why Lord has removed all the rules? Because we are Kali Yuga Jivas, When Lord says take 3 showers a day, We say, Arey Baba, ek hi kaise वैसे लेते हैं? Why you want us to take second shower? Why you want us to take third shower? So Lord is saying, don't worry. There is no rule here. You can simply chant. Now, to express this pastime, once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came back from Shaucha. That's also Leela only. He did not do Shaucha, he's in his spiritual body. And he was holding his tongue like this. He was holding his tongue. And somebody asked what happened, what happened. He said, Arey, I went to the toilet and this tongue is unstoppable. It is chanting Krishna's names. But Krishna's name is pure and toilet process is impure. So, I was trying to hold my tongue. That's why I'm biting my tongue. And this 5-year-old boy, right, Raghunandan, uh, he says, the Lord's name is not of this world. It is imported. It is beyond 3 gunas. It is from the spiritual world. So it cannot become dirty by anything of this world. It is not possible because it is spirit and matter. Matter cannot touch spirit. Spirit cannot be destroyed by matter. The holy name is not impacted whether you are doing toilet or bathroom or anything. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, yes, you have understood the essence. That holy name can be taken anywhere, anytime, no rules apply because it is not of this world. It is not material. If you have material, like you have a tablecloth and you spill your mango juice on that, okay, it became dirty. Why? Both are material, but one is spiritual and one is material. It is different dimension only. There are no rules here. Any questions on this?
No, bro, I think it is doing good. Are any questions anybody has?
Next one.
Next one.
And we are supposed to recite this every morning, by the way. And if you just make a printout and keep it somewhere and repeat it every day, you can by heart it very nicely. Trunadapi Sunichena. This is the most powerful but most difficult part of even progressing in bhakti. Why? It's all about humility. One should chant the holy name of the Lord, not because I am so great, but in the humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree, devoid of all sense of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respect to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly. Now, what does that mean? How to chant, right? How to chant to get the best benefit. Because you can chant without rules, but if you chant with a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. Why this example, straw in the street? You have, we all have some grass around us. We are in Washington. So what happens when you step on a grass? The grass will go down because you're stepping on it. And when you take your foot off, it will stand again. So most of the human beings, their humility is like, oh, I'm in front of my professor. Let me be humble because I want to get good grades. Oh, my parents are there. Let me be humble. Why? Otherwise, they will give a nice fatka, or they will at least scold you for not being humble. Okay, you want to be humble in front of your boss. Why? You want promotion. You want money. At least you want to retain your job. So people are humble. So people are temporarily humble. That is shown by the grass, right? But what is a straw in the street? Straw in the street is always flat. It is never standing. So you have to be always humble, not situationally humble. That is the power of being the straw in the street. One should be more tolerant than a tree. Why tree is given as an example of tolerance? Because what does tree give us? Tree will give us shade. Tree will give us leaves, wood, fruits, oxygen. And after getting all this, what does the tree get from us? When we want fruits, we will throw stones. After doing in the shade, we sleep under the tree. Then what we'll do? We'll do, if we're in the jungle, we'll even pass urine or stool under a tree. Right? Then what happens when we want to burn some wood? We'll go and cut the tree. Then when we want to build a house, we'll cut the whole tree only, not only a branch. Right? So if it has flowers, we'll pluck away all the flowers. And the tree is enjoying nice fragrance of its flowers and beauty. Now you go and destroy the flowers from the tree also. The point is, and does the tree stop? Does the tree say, oh, if you're nice to me, I will give it to you, and if you're not nice to me, I'll not give it to you? Tree is open to all, saying that anybody come and take my benefit. I am here. And also, a tree that is laden with fruits actually bends. Like if you see a mango tree or any tree, the tree has a lot of ripe fruits. The lot of branches will be bending down. Why? Take it, take it. And also humility. So a person with deep spiritual knowledge is always humble. Like that ripe fruits on the tree, it's always ready to surrender to everyone. So the tolerant then tree is because the tree is basically not asking for anything and giving everything to everyone. Devoid of all sense of false prestige. So what is false prestige? Name, fame, knowledge, acceptance by others, recognitions. All these are prestige points. What does scripture say? Scripture say that if somebody does give you a compliment, one should feel like it is Shukravishta. Now, somebody knows what is Shukra? Shukra is the pig. Now, pig's vishta is worst of the worst because what does the pig eat? The pigs eat stool already. So it is already eating vishta and then gets processed and becomes next level vishta. If one has to taste that vishta, how yucky it is. It's like the worst thing you can try in this world. A compliment or if somebody adoring you or appreciating you, one should feel so humble that anybody giving any adoration or compliment should actually make you feel morose. In that way, it's like eating shukravishta. Nahi chahiye mujhe. Why? Because if people say glorify, ah, Prabhu, आपने क्या किया ये अच्छा किया वो अच्छा किया, and then you start saying, वाह, मैं कुछ महान हूँ, मेरे अंदर बहुत अच्छा ही है जो आज तक लोगों को मालूम नहीं था. अभी धीरे धीरे they're realizing my greatness slowly slowly. Like what is our typical Bollywood level spirituality? देवा हो देवा गणपति देवा तुमसे बढ़कर कौन, देवा तुमसे बढ़कर कौन. यहीं पे गाड़ी रुकती है तो प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. चलो ठीक है गणपति बाबा, यू आर द ग्रेटेस्ट. इफ यू बिलीव दैट, सो बी इट. और तुम्हारे भक्त गणों में हमसे बढ़कर कौन. सो व्हाट डज दैट मीन? कि भगवान पहले हम आपको हाय बोलेंगे, बाद में अपनी बढ़ाई करेंगे. राइट? That is the mood of the public when you go and see those political leaders and the size of the garlands they use to honor each other. That garland sometimes is heavier than the guy. It is so big, so full of flowers and green and all that. It's like, false ego, prestige ko bada kaise karne ka. So devoid of all sense of false prestige. क्योंकि क्या होता है? No, Radhana Swami Maharaj says, it is very easy to give respect to everyone everywhere. Because who is in charge? You are in charge. So if I am in charge, I can give respect to everyone everywhere. But if I'm expecting respect, that is a very morose situation. Because say for example, you are a big authority in ISKCON, you walk into temple, somebody guy comes in front of you and doesn't wish you Haribol, doesn't wish you Vanchakalpatarvicha, and you think you deserve it. Ah, dard hota hai. So now what is happening? You are carrying your heart on your shoulder, overtly sensitive, and in the every situation you are saying why people are not caressing my ego. And then one becomes the most unhappy person in that status of life. And that is why it is easier and path of happiness to give respect, not expect respect. क्योंकि expect ही नहीं करोगे तो दर्द भी नहीं होगा ना. And not only don't expect, if somebody gives you honor, think like you are eating the Shukravishta. That is the great way to stay out. But somebody gives genuine compliment about some genuine services you have done, like many of you are making amazing burritos. How to handle it, right? Say you immediately you take it like a hot potato and pass it on. You pass the credit to somebody else and somebody else and somebody else. And fastest way to pass it on is to your senior. in spirituality. And what will that senior do? Will pass it on to his senior, and it keeps going on like that. And basically, it goes back to Krishna. So we are saying all glories to Srila Prabhupada. In ISKCON, somebody starts appreciating somebody, the other person will simply say, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Means what? You want to glorify somebody, glorify Srila Prabhupada. Don't glorify me, because it will only get into my head and it's like a hot potato. I don't need it, I don't want it. Why so many Swamis in this world collapse spiritually? Initially, they are giving good classes and people are following them, people are liking them. Then people start appreciating and complimenting them, and they start to enjoy that. And the moment they start to enjoy that, and people want to go and touch their feet, and they'll say, touch my feet, no problem. They're receiving the karma of the people. And when they receive the karma of the people, because of the karma, their desires become too strong for physical enjoyment, and they collapse spiritually. It's a very simple life cycle of how you collapse. But this shloka will protect us in our spirituality tomorrow, even if, we become like temple presidents, or even if millions of people are in Hare Krishna and you are guiding them. But this shloka will keep us grounded, saying that one, I don't need any appreciation. Two, if somebody is appreciating, it is for Srila Prabhupada. Three, it is like a Shukravishta, mujhko nahi chahiye. So, any questions on the levels of humility that is expected in order to enjoy the real spirituality?
So these levels are for spiritual life, right, Prabhuji? Or is it for like, I don't know, like a corporate life? Does it work? Or
See, what happens in corporate life, try to be who you are. If you pretend to be something else, no, that kind of falls through the cracks. Means, if you're a naturally humble person, right? If you're a naturally humble person, then you can be humble in office also. And honestly, a lot of people, when you're actually humble for long enough and you're performing genuinely what you're doing and you're well wisher of everyone, slowly people start to notice and they'll start giving you the lift. They will start uplifting you. Now, initially, everybody's there to bite everybody, correct? But everybody is also looking for good human beings around them. So, office is a deeper conversation. We cannot be one thing like here and one thing like that there. But the thing to understand, at least Bhakti point of view, this is said by Prabhupada, be a lamb in the temple. When you come to the temple, be like a lamb. What do lambs do? ज़्यादा चिल्लाते नहीं है. They keep it to their business. But outside, be lion. Of course, if you are capable of being lion, if you are capable of being something else, then you be that. But my point is, when you are outside, there is no need to apply false humility. If you are a CEO, or if you are a vice president, if you are a manager, you need to play your role like that. Like when Arjuna was shooting arrows, he was still humble. He had tears in his eyes when he was shooting arrows at Bhishma, but he was shooting arrows. The point is, what runs in your heart and what you have to do to play a role to sustain your family, that is called as Deha Dharma. Deha Dharma means this is your bodily role that you are playing in this world. It's more like abhinay, acting. You're acting the role of a CEO. And the better you act like a CEO, the more promotions you receive. Just like, the cinema actors, the more they act like the role that they're supposed to be, the more people appreciate them and give them money. So the roles in the material world are like acting only. You are a soul. You have no connection to them. But you do very good acting so that you will be successful in the material life. Does that help, Mataji?
yes, Prabhuji. So maybe I'll have a separate conversation with you.
Because see, for material life issues, you need in detail coaching and counseling.
Yeah.
These are principles. What is north? What is south?
Okay.
And here we are saying, I am not this body. That got covered in the first look. If I am not this body, anything connected with body, I am not attached. If you truly believe that, there is no point in becoming extremely humble.
Mhm.
Where we get in trouble is false humility. I still have my attachments. I still have my aversions. And I artificially try to act like I'm a soul. and you go to office and say, मुझे पैसे से फर्क नहीं पड़ता है, then the boss says, okay, next promotion cycle, I'll not give you a lot of money. And then you suffer, saying, अरे यार मेरे को पैसा नहीं दिया. अरे you only said पैसा नहीं चाहिए, right? The point is, in office, you are doing an acting. Just remember that. And the better acting you do, that way you're not attached also. No? Like you participate in a drama. When I joined ISKCON, in the first drama, they made me Narsimha Dev. I said, wow, very nice, ISKCON people. They made me Narsimha Dev. Literally, full mask and all fun. Next drama, they made me a king in Ramanujacharya's drama. I said, no problem. ISKCON people are still nice. They made me a king. After that, next 3-4 roles were Ravana, Hiranyakashipu, and one more. So basically, these are just roles. If I start to attach, when Ramayana Ravana role came, my wife said, hey, you are getting too many demon roles. Don't play only. She actually wanted to prevent me from playing the role. I'm like, it's just a role. It's not me. So it does not matter. The point is, in office, whatever role we are playing, ultimately we go there because we are not billionaires. We have to remember that. If we are billionaires, none of us will go to office. So we just have to play a role to maintain the Deha Dharma. Nothing more than that. And within that also, try to be in line with your natural strengths, because Paro Dharma Bhayava. If your nature is of a sales guy, always being out and talking to people, and you do computer engineering job, you'll suffer. Vice versa also, you will suffer. So go to Strength 2.0 kind of website, identify what your natural strengths are, play to your natural strengths, you'll be sukhi. Whether you get money or not, that is karma. But at least if you are doing activities natural to you, you are comfortable. Yes. So any questions on the shloka itself? Not, we can go to the next one. Now that we agree I'm the soul, and I want to be humble, and I want to be completely connected and immersed in love of Krishna. And of course, um, Krishna's promise is, if you are immersed in his thoughts all the time, he will take care of you. You don't have to worry. Like Ambani's, are they working hard or something? I mean, they are working hard only to enjoy hard. More parties and more celebrations and more inaugurations. That is how Ambani's enjoy. And they are very good devotees of Krishna. Point is, na dhanam, na janam, na sundari, kavitam va jagadisha kamaye, mama janmani janmani ishware, bhavatat bhakti raher tukitoi. What should we ask when we go to temple is given over here? Oh Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want the causeless devotional service, birth after birth. Wow, this is a big one. I know Hare Krishnas who will sing this and then they will skip one of them. They will not say na dhanam, they will say dhanam. Or na janam. Janam means what? Followers, right? So people who want to be famous, they will say, no, I want followers. Na sundari. I do not want a handsome or a beautiful partner. I don't need that. Right? That's what it is saying. Kavita. Kavita means what? Not the poem. Kavita means people are, what do Raja Kavis used to do in the past? The royal poets. They used to glorify the king. So Kavita bhi nahi chahiye. I don't need people glorifying me. Jagadish, va Jagadish Kamaye. So I do not want anything of this world. Krishna, see, the level is growing from just chant the name of the Krishna. Chalega. Be humble. Chalega. Don't expect or ask for any happiness of this world. Don't even desire the happiness of this world. Why? Because you are this body, you are part and parcel of Krishna. And all these things keep you at a body level platform. They attach you to the body level platform. But then you see devotees have big, big houses, and they also, when they get married, they are looking for somebody beautiful or handsome, and they are also doing careers. What is going on? That's called as Yukta Vairagya. Yukta Vairagya means, in order to live in this world, you have to live like you are in this world, but there is no need to be attached to those things. Means you can have it only to be used in the service of the Lord. What does that mean? Krishna has made this family system, so I will enter the family system. Krishna has given me a job, so I will play my role. Krishna is giving me money, so I'll maintain a house which is in line with the social acceptance standards in Samamish. Right? If 90% of the Samamish houses are like this, then I'll try to get one of them. So based on where you are, you will be. But say, for example, tomorrow recession strikes and this strikes and that strikes. If you are asked to move from a house to hut or hut to house, both ways there should not be any problem. Both ways. It's not just, oh, don't be attached to the big house, go live in a small, live under a tree. Great. What about if you're under a tree and you're asked to go live in a big house? Well, don't be attached to tree also. So just don't have any attachment because you're not this body. What then? What do I want? I want causeless devotional service, birth after birth. Why causeless? Because I don't want to do bhakti to ask for A, B, C, D, E, F, G, whole laundry list. Krishna, give me this, give me this, give me this. Huh? That is why na dhanam, na janam, na sundari, na kavitam va jagadisha kamaye. And then what do I want? I want your devotional service. What is devotional service? It is the manifestation of our love for Krishna. So we want to express our love for Krishna again and again. Why? Because that is the most natural position of the soul. And Atma, Dharma of an Atma is to be in the loving service of the Lord. Once we are in that situation, we actually do not need anything else. And we are in our highest happiness stage. And that is the formula Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving us, saying that Krishna, I don't want anything. He's acting like a devotee. Krishna, I don't want anything. All I want is your service, which is a manifestation of my love for you. When do I want liberation? Arey, liberation bhi nahi chahiye. Birth after birth. Just give me your service. That is the highest. Now what happens? If somebody wants to serve you life after life, wouldn't you want that person to live with you only in your home? Krishna will take us back. But what do we ask? We don't even ask for liberation. We ask for nothing. We want to only give. Because the primary difference between prema and kama is in prema, we want to serve. In kama, we want to be served. Why people go through the divorces and all that? Service nahi mil raha hai. I was expecting when I get married, this will happen, that will happen, that will happen. It is not happening. So I'm in the life of frustration. I want to stop my frustration cycle. I will take divorce. That is how the world is processing their married life. But in prema, in highest prema, there is no expectation, only service. Now what happens? One pitfall I will tell you. Once you learn the difference between the prema and kama, you start expecting prema from your life partner. Say, hey, you should only expect nothing and only provide your service, right? And then what happens? The shlokas become the sword. We start throwing shlokas at each other, saying that, oh, you are fallen, you are fallen. Gali ka naam change ho jata hai. Now you have Vaishnava galis. You are fallen. You are in the bodily state. You are in Maya, vagara, vagara. But the point is, we don't take our material fights into the spiritual realm. We actually enjoy spirituality because a lot of, even in bhakti process, initially, we are enjoying bhakti how? Leaking the honey jar from outside. And what is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu teaching us? How to open the honey jar and leak the honey from inside. And once you are inside happy, you'll be outside happy also because you are well situated. Okay, any questions on this one? Yes, bro. Next one.
Yes, thank you. Let's go ahead. Yeah.
ऐनन्द तनुज किंकरम पतितां वा विषमे भवाम्बुदो कृपया तव पाद पंकजा स्थित धूलि सदृशम विचिंतया. ओ अब देखो अपना एक्सपेक्टेशन अभी नाउ इन प्रेमा यू वांट टू रेड्यूस योर एक्सपेक्टेशंस. सो व्हाट इज इट? ओ कृष्ण, ओ सन ऑफ महाराजा नंदा कृष्णा, I am your eternal servitor, not one time servant, not those some people who use bhakti as a ladder to become Krishna, like they want to become like Krishna, right? A lot of yogis and jnanis will tell you, oh, bhakti means Bhagwan ka naam le lo just to stabilize your mind, right? So, oh son of Maharaja Nanda means Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, eternal, full time and forever. Yet somehow or other, I have fallen into this ocean of birth and death. Now, how many lives we have lived? Unlimited. How many times we have died? Unlimited number of times. How many times we were born? Unlimited number of times. How many times we cried because we just were born and now there is no food and what to do? Unlimited number of times. So we are in the ocean of birth and death. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Chal raha hai. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as an atom on your lotus feet. So what happens when Krishna accepts us in his service? Once he places us on our lotus feet, then we are soul, and at a soul level, there is no birth, no death. So that's the right expectation to have is somehow I am in the trap of birth and death. Please get me out. Oh, you're here. You want to scroll? Rama Mukunda Prabhu. So Nayanam, this is number 6, right? Nayanam Galad Ashrudhara. Okay. Yeah, Prabhu. Can you scroll a little bit? Otherwise, I was going to present.
Number 6, right? Yeah.
Number 6, yes.
There is a lag.
Shrudharaya vadanam gadgadarudaya gira pulakayanachitam vapu kada tava nama grahane bhavishyati. Oh my Lord, when will my eyes see? When will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? If we chant and we don't get any tears in our eyes, we should know our heart is made out of stone. It has so much of kachra. Lord is not ready to appear. Krishna phone nahi utha rahe. We are calling Krishna na Hare Krishna Hare Krishna. भगवान फोन नहीं उठा रहे. क्यों नहीं उठा रहे फोन? क्योंकि हम लोग egoistically approach कर रहे हैं. We are approaching incorrectly. So we just need to approach correctly. What happens when you approach Krishna correctly? Then you get natural happiness. वहां the happiness becomes unbearable. So आंखों में से आंसू आएंगे. When I chant your holy name, when will my voice choke up? And when will the hair of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name? पुलकित शरीरा, रोमांच खड़े होना, वो कब होगा? भगवान को देख के आंसू कब आएंगे? What Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving us is the symptoms of ecstatic love for Krishna. A litmus test to see whether when we take darshan of the Lord, do our emotions rise? Like for example, in the family members, when we meet with some family members, especially now that we are separated, when we meet back with our family members, it should be very emotional reunion, right? And when we meet, we cry, or when we are separating, we cry. So we should also cry in the separation of Krishna. Krishna, you're not present in my life. You're not present right now. I'm missing you. And it's okay to cry. But what is the danger over here? There is in Vrindavan, there is a branch of spirituality which is called as Sahajiyas. The Sahajiyas, what they say, बस भगवान के लिए रोना तो है ना. So what they do, these are like good government officers and established people in the society. They'll go to Vrindavan, they'll wear dresses like gopi dress, and then when somebody is singing kirtan or something is going on, they'll start dancing with closed eyes. And I have seen people like very my size people doing makeup of ladies, and they're trying to enamor their, develop their emotions for Krishna like a gopi. And why we call them Sahajiyas is because they think Lord's bhakti is so cheap that by acting like make it till you fake it, no, fake it till you make it business, you will develop the love of Krishna. And then they will come out of that dance, immediately bidi sutta leke फूकने को चालू करते हैं. So what? They're not following any restrictions. They're not doing any tapasya. They're not doing any seva. They're directly trying to become gopis by acting like gopis. But the best example that is given of such a people cannot really enjoy spirituality is like if there is a pregnant woman who is about to deliver baby, and the baby and the mother is now about to be mother, she's like screaming and pushing and screaming and pushing and screaming and pushing, and finally a baby is born. Right? I'm not talking about C-section. I'm talking about natural birth. Now another lady goes next to her. She's not pregnant. And she says, she's shouting, she gets a baby. I will also shout, I will also get a baby. Will the baby come out? There is no baby, Baba, you are not pregnant. If you're not pregnant, no matter how much you shout like a pregnant woman, you don't get the baby. Just like that, if you really don't have love of Krishna, if you don't have any service or tapasya behind you, just by artificially crying, you don't get love of Krishna. It is just like that lady who is not pregnant, crying and howling to act like she's also pregnant. No. You need to be pregnant with the love of Krishna. Means you should be empowered with the love of Krishna to get the feelings and the emotions and the realizations that you're supposed to get. Right? This topic is getting more and more advanced, and I'm being very direct. But if you have any questions, kindly stop me. Prabhu, next one. Now, after doing all of this also, right? What is the next level? Okay, ठीक है, humble भी बन रहे हैं. इस दुनिया का कुछ भी नहीं चाहिए. Okay, Krishna, I am your eternal servant. Oh, Krishna, why I am not getting tears? And then what is the next level? And gopis were in this situation. Yugayitam nimishena chakshusha pravishayitam shunyayitam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. Oh Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Nimisha. What is a nimisha? Blink of an eye, which is 1/12 of a second. That is the nimisha. So there is a very clear Sanskrit translation for the time factor. It goes from tapas and yugas and kalpas to nimisha also, and even below that. Oh Govinda, feeling your separation, I am considering a moment to be like 12 years or more. Tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I am feeling all vacant in the world in your absence. So what happens once you are really in love with Krishna, just like a baby crying for mom, when the baby is really feeling separation from mom, you give unlimited toys to that baby, the baby will throw those toys. The baby will break those toys. Baby will not accept those toys because now the baby wants mother only. It's a material example, but powerful. Like that, when we really miss Krishna in our life, nothing else we need or want. The point, whatever we have in life, it feels very vacant. I'm wasting my time. Why? People get married only to find that married life is not complete. People go to job only to find job life is not complete. Then people go to parenting experience only to realize that also doesn't give you the fulfillment. It may give you some fulfillment when children are growing and you are doing things for them. But when you become 60, 70 years old and your children are very busy with their career and life and they don't even call you, you realize vacant. कुछ नहीं, life waste किया. So the whole point is we have to feel the separation of Krishna, which becomes a natural thing in the progress of bhakti. Questions, or we can go to the next one. आश्लिष्य वा पादरतां पिनास्तु माम् आदर्शनां मर्महतां करोसु वा यथा तथा वा विदधातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनाथास्तु सेवनापरा. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord. And Abhi Krishna is giving you separation. He's not present before you. But what is your commitment and conviction? Our commitment. I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken hearted by not being present before me. It's completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipable Lord unconditionally. So, what in prema or kama mein farak kya hai? In prema, you only want to serve, not expect anything. In kama, I will do this, you will do this. If you don't do this, I will not do that. So give and take, business. But with Krishna, we have no business to do, only love, only prema. So in prema, I know no one but Krishna as my Lord. So udhar to confusion dur ho gaya. He shall remain so, even if he handles me roughly. Life में ups and downs भी आते हैं. no problem. Krishna, you are still the king of my heart. Whether he handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken hearted by not being present before me. Ignore karo, maro, rakho, kuch bhi karo. Mare Krishna rakhe ke, rakhe Krishna mare ke. We should know that all situations in life are in control of Krishna, and Krishna is allowing it to happen. I should also accept it. For he is always my worshipable Lord unconditionally. That is real prema. Real prema is unconditional love. It is not conditional love. Okay, so that completes the Shiksha-Ashtakam, and I would say, there are beautiful, beautiful classes by many senior devotees. We can share some on this topic, and these 8 stanzas are enough to go back to Krishna. Why? You see the gradual increment in your mood as you go through shloka by shloka. It actually shows our progress in bhakti actually. Okay, so we'll pause and see any questions, or Prabhu, we are kind of reaching 9:31. If you want to just dive into reflections, also it's your choice.
Yes, bro. Yeah, we can take reflections. Before that, any questions anybody has, or would like to discuss anything? Yeah, we can start reflections, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Yeah, who wants to go first?
You can stop sharing. And I kind of try to rush the conversation, but it's so deep that you can keep going and giving examples forever.
I think you nicely elaborated. Yeah, Ved Prakash, Prabhu, you want to go first?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. It was so beautiful. This was the first time I ever heard the Shiksha-Ashtakam, and hearing the explanation behind it was equally rewarding. So, yeah, I don't have any words to explain, basically. It was so beautiful. So, thank you for that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Good
Who
luck,
want to
Prabhupada.
go next? Yeah, Lakshmi Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So, for me, a lot of these verses, I understand that these are like the supreme state of bhakti, but being not there, still wanting money and still wanting all the material things, it is, maybe I'll understand it at some point, maybe hopefully, but right now it seems like many of things mentioned there are definitely not fit for material life, right? Because you have to be in that spiritual state to understand the sense of all these messages. And the last one, for example, the one like whatever happens, I accept it as Krishna. I understand that, but I always get confused between when do I try to get out of it? Like if there is a good situation, I understand. So there is a bad situation. When do I try to get out of it, or when do I think that it is Krishna's will that is happening, right? These are like very material world based questions, so maybe it doesn't apply. But those were the things that came to my mind when I was listening to it.
Yes, Mataji. When we are in situation, we are supposed to act. Think of it like acting only, but we are supposed to act.
Okay.
We do our best to make our life better. There is no question about that. But then we let Krishna handle the results. We don't be in the anxiety of results. If I'm supposed to say a thief enters the house, do I say Krishna's desire? There are million houses in Samami. She had to come in my house only. Krishna desire, Baba, take what you want. If you want to kill me also, it is okay. No.
Okay.
Krishna has given you intelligence to call 911. Krishna has given you rights to own weapons. Krishna has given you a strong body to throw kitchen utensils at that person. And he has given you a back door to run. Whatever Krishna has given, use it. But don't be attached to results. In the sense that after trying your best, whatever happened, okay, Krishna, this is what you wanted. Arjuna fought, right? He didn't sit back in the chariot thinking that Krishna, your desire only, do what you like. He acted. His action, the whole In Hinduism, we want to give up on action very quickly. We should not. Act like things depend on us. Once all actions are completed, then depend on Krishna for results.
Yeah.
But initially, we have to work so hard, like it depends on me only. And then when it's time to measure the results, then we say that is Krishna.
So that's becomes a bit hard for me to like execute. So when I do actions, when I do something, if I think that it is me, then I have like more focus and more dedication to do it. But once I think that okay, I'll let it let God decide it, I feel like I'm not doing that much action. I'm getting like less what's that less aggressive about it. I don't know. So that practically that seems very hard to balance out.
No, we all are work in progress in that area.
Mhm.
Okay? It's not like somebody's up there and now only Krishna, only tears for you, nothing else. We all are in the struggling phase of spirituality only, at different stages. The point is, in proportion to our desires for things of this world, we should try hard. Like if I care about my job, then I better attend my job properly.
Mhm.
I cannot be relaxed about my job, but expect the promotions. If Krishna has created a system, we should respect that. So, in proportion to your desires, you detach from action. Don't detach from action immaturely.
Okay.
If you really don't care about job, then you play lightly on job. Otherwise, what will happen? Say, for example, you start only going to temple and doing only temple seva, then start taking your job very lightly, and then when you lose your job, like Krishna, I'm doing your service. What are you doing? Huh? So instead of that, if you're attached to your job, if you need a job, you focus on your job. Do that as a service to Krishna also. So that
Okay.
you can see that how a Krishna devotee can perform so nicely. Huh? Very good. We should be exemplary in our material life, at least try, because yada yada acharati sreshtas. What great people in the society will do, ordinary people will follow. There is no problem you doing very high career and you be a Krishna devotee, then people say, wow, ये बंदा कर रहा है तो मुझे भी करना है. So you can become an example. If you're a student, you can strive for first rank. So that people say, wow, this is a Krishna devotee and getting a first rank. Let me also chant a little bit. So you become the example to others. So you attach your hard work also to the mood of service to Krishna. How? Make it service to Krishna, then do Dirkholki, no problem. Remove the internal conflicts in your life. If you have a goal, if that goal is spiritually, socially, ethically, and family point of view aligned, there is no conflict. Then there is no point in putting your full effort into that. But there is no problem in putting full effort into that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Who wants to go next? Rasbir Prabhu, Kano Prabhu, and Sapal Prabhu had to drop.
Hi.
Yeah, go ahead, Rasbir Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So yeah, it was very beautiful, as Prabhu said. Like it was really good. I think we did it last year also, but yeah, you forget like down the line. But it is very nice, and I like the one which talked about humbleness. That is really good, and the example that Prabhuji gave, that okay, if someone glorifies when you are doing some things, we don't know. I don't know how to react, even though I'm doing my job, but when you get those appreciations, so I like how you pass it on to the higher one, so it goes in the till Krishna. So yeah, that was really good. So, and overall it was very beautiful. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
All glory to Srila Prabhupada who brought this knowledge to us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rasbir Prabhuji, can you go next? Then Kano Prabhu.
Yeah, Prabhuji. Yeah, Prabhuji, beautiful recitation and beautiful meaning as well. Thank you for explaining the meaning of all the verses. And I think this poem is like, it reflects, like as I said, it reflects the mood of Gopi. And it's like
it's like a benchmark for bhakti. Like we should always go back and refer to these prayers time and again to see where we are on our bhakti process for self-evaluation and just to know that we have a long way to go. Like this is, and also like understand that our love for Krishna is way above what we understand of material love. So material love and spiritual love are two very different love types, right? So we should know that we have to, it's not like kind of a love we are seeing in this world. It's way beyond it. And we also understand our eternal relationship with Krishna with this. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Kana Prabhu, you want to go next?
Yes, Prabhuji. So for me also, Prabhuji, very great recitation of the Shishtakams. Overall, the summary I could gather was like, if a person is in Krishna consciousness, they have no desire for self-satisfaction. And whatever we do, we perform it with detachment. That's our goal. Prabhuji shared a very good example of how you basically have to approach like crying in separation of Krishna. The example of the pregnant lady was really, really great. That if you don't do the service, you don't kind of put in the hard yards, then you will not feel, you will not get Krishna. So only the right way to approach will get you the empowerment, and the real tears will come. So yeah, that was mine.
Thank you, Kana Prabhu.
Thank you.
We have Abhishek Prabhu from Dallas.
Austin, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna. Austin, here. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, devotees. First of all, happy Gaur Purnima to everyone. Today it was Krishna's mercy that our program at the temple is starting in the evening. So I got a chance to join this program. So, and that too also like with the Shiksha-Ashtakam prayers. One of the prayers like which we recite every day in the morning, and the 10 offenses, definitely two of those. So like every verse which you spoke about, it was always like I was always in that mode. Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi sahishnana. So what we recite in the morning. So it was so enlightening. Like I hear that verse like every day for the past like 1 year. But still it is so refreshing. So and thanks to Gauranga Prabhu, like you recited it so well and rejuvenated us. I think last time you mentioned about one verse which I remember is like Nadhanam Najanam Nasundaram, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu focused on Na 3 times. So he has to make sure that it's not like Nadhanam, Janam, Sundaram. Instead of people might misinterpret it saying, okay, it's just Nadhanam, but Janam and Sundaram are still there. I remember like you mentioned about that thing. So yeah, but beautifully recited, and thanks so much for that.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Abhishek Prabhu, for your special appearance today. Yeah, and yeah, thank you. So yeah, these Shiksha-Ashtakam prayers, they are part of the morning program, as Abhishek Prabhu was saying. So in the temples, there is a morning program which starts with the Mangalarati, Samsara Dhava prayers, and then Tulsi, Narsimha prayers, and Tulsi Arati, and then the Shiksha-Ashtakam prayers, devotees recite daily. So we are supposed to recite this daily and understand contemplate on the meaning also. So I think today Gauranga Chandra Prabhu gave us very nice glimpses of the depth of this Shiksha-Ashtakam verses. So we should be reciting this daily. So that should be we should add that into our practice. Yeah. Another thing, as I think Mataji said, right? Like it seems too far from practical, but at least we know the goal, and we can try to apply these principles in our day-to-day life in the small dealings within our family, not necessarily in the office, right? But at least we can start applying these principles in the dealings with close devotees and family. That is, I think we can move one step at a time forward. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji. Gauranga Chandra Prabhu, very nicely reciting and explaining the meaning with beautiful examples.
By your instruction, Prabhu, and Srila Prabhupada. I need to start practicing what I'm saying. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Very nice.
So
Yeah,
in the today we have
yeah,
please.
today celebration, right? Evening.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, today evening we have a celebration in the temple. There will be Abhishekam, Abhishek of Gauranita deities in the temple. So it is very auspicious to attend. Actually, even to watch that Abhishekam is also auspicious. What to talk about, we can do the Abhishek also. We get opportunity to do the Abhishek also in the temple. So yeah, please attend temple program.
Here we are fortunate, right? In Pune and all that, some Brahmanas will perform and others are just watching, right? Which is also great. But here, I assume we all will be allowed, and that's ideal actually, that we all get opportunity.
Okay. So is
Very
anything
nice.
else, bro? I think.
No, bro. I think what we could do in future also is when such a festivals are coming up, we can give the alert notice for those who want to come to Mangalarti.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a good
Also, there
point.
is a fasting today till moonrise. But it's always like that. Gaura Purnima means fasting till moonrise in the evening. You can decide what level of fasting you want. Jala, Phala, Quinoa, whatever Ekadashi level that you follow, you can follow the same level here. Yeah. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he gives without expectation or qualification, it's the easiest form of the Lord to access. And also, if you bring Gauranitai deity at home, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's deity at home, then the good things you do will be captured, but any mistakes you do will be ignored. They do not see faults because this is the Kali Yuga incarnation of the Lord. In Kali Yuga, Lord knows how fallen we are. So it is a very safe deity to get at home. Actually. Anyone interested, let us know. We can arrange. And even the deity seva point of view also, they don't have many expectations. Whatever you can do. One devotee who is now a profound devotee and teacher and all that, in his pre-Hare Krishna life, he was having a bar of alcohol in his house. And every night was a mutton night, mutton chickenum night. And Pandaviji Prabhu was his friends, our chief pujari. He took the risk and he said, I will give Gauranita because I know Gauranita will not see the faults, only will see good desire. And he gave Gauranita deity to that person. And now this person is a top Vaishnava. And he has taught Bhagavad Gita device to hundreds and hundreds. So it's a very, very, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is actually Kali Yuga incarnation of Krishna and actually very merciful and he really works in life. And initially, I was resistant to accepting anything other than Krishna. But then when I got in touch with Gauranga, he really makes your bhakti so smooth. So it's okay to, it's recommended to say Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. So when we chant also, while chanting, suddenly we may remember Sholay, suddenly we may remember some favorite movie. We are doing mistakes in the chanting. But by saying Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda, what happens, this gang of 5, they will take away all the mistakes and make sure that Krishna is accepting our service. So there is a method to the madness. All right. So with that, I would think we'll end 12 minutes early today, but today is a busy day anyways. I hope we'll see you in the temple in the evening. And Abhishek Prabhu, thank you for blessings from Austin. I'll connect with you separately.
No
Austin
problem.
is appearing in my life.
Yes, I had a quick question. So, Austin, we in the ISKCON temple we celebrated Holi yesterday. Did we have anything in Seattle like Holi festival?
Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay. Yes.
Festival of Color. Festival of Color we celebrated yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Look, Merimoor Park, and it is for thousands of people because what we do in Seattle is at scale, right?
Nice. I think the Marywood Park where we had the Anand Mela. Usually we have. Oh, okay. Yeah, nice.
I mean, the Anand Mela happens in the Redmond City court, but Merimoor Park is separate. But we have done festivals there, like different festivals.
Got it, Prabhu. Okay.
All right. With that, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Vachakalpatarubhyascha Pavane Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo. Ananta Koti Vaishnava ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai ho. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.